unedited 1-ish hour of talking starting right now. Today's topic is why why you should start a podcast, because that's a fun thing to talk about as the first podcast. Why do I want to start a podcast? Because it was my New Year's resolution, but also I hate New Year's resolutions, but that's a different conversation. It's like, not that I hate it, but it's like, why do you need an excuse to do something? Why not do it in the middle of the year?
Oh, right.
But
if you're looking for it like that.
Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, if you're looking at it from like that way, sorry. I do agree. People should be setting goals throughout the entire year, except for just setting it out for one day.
Should I put this?
Like, yeah.
Swallow it. Tell. I thought I turned my heater off. It turns out I didn't. I turned it on high.
Good job.
So yeah, that's one reason why I wanted to, because like as a New Year's resolution, it's like I need something to keep me on track time-wise in the year. Like, now that we have, other than school, now that we have a definitive point in our week where we actually sit down and do something, it'll keep me within the confines of time, instead of my mind floating off into space and being like, what day is it today?
Exactly. And we were talking about it earlier when we were hanging out. Like, time doesn't exist anymore ever since like quarantine started. And and doing something like a podcast at least gives us something productive to do instead of just sitting there watching YouTube or doing whatever we usually do. You know, why not intellectually challenge ourselves?
Yeah. Also, we tend to have pretty interesting conversations. Not just conversations, but sometimes we just pull out weird shit that makes us laugh for like an hour without end. So we might as well start recording that.
We could be talking about like the dumbest shit ever, and then it could like turn from pee pee poo poo to like, what if the government is doing this to us?
Yeah.
So like, why not record it?
Yeah. And on a different note, that's why not only us, but people in general should do a podcast, because, you know, in quarantine, people have been finding like their own hobbies, and it's like, what am I supposed to do while I'm stuck at home? And like, some people have been baking, some other people have been doing like creative stuff, but it's like,
everybody's been making bread.
Yeah, to the people who they want to find something, they want to find a hobby, but they don't feel creative enough, they don't feel creatively talented. You know, starting a podcast, you're literally talking for an hour. It seems challenging.
Exactly. It's just
but you're also being yourself. So as long as you are yourself and you're not putting on a character, which, no shade, no tea, I do see on YouTube sometimes, people like to put on an exaggerated version of themselves, and I can't help but look at them and be like, don't you get burnt out so quickly putting on such an exaggerated version of yourself every single day? But here, it's like, we're just talking and we're having a nice time. No, this isn't me. This also isn't me, like, shading podcast, what do I call them? Podcast creators. That their work is easy to do. I'm not saying that it's easy to do. I'm saying it's a nice, simple thing to do that isn't too complicated.
It's literally just a conversation, like, and you can like dive deep into it. Like, it's not even that bad. Like, and it gives you a chance to think about certain topics that you never really thought about. But yeah, this is why podcasts are great, man. Conversations are awesome. Socialize with people, at least one person per day.
Socialize with one person per day. That's a good rule to have in quarantine.
Yes, indeed. You don't want to keep yourself in like literal isolation, like mentally.
That reminds me of something my chem professor said today. She was talking about office hours. It's like, You don't have to come to my office hours if you don't have any questions. You could just talk to me because it's lonely being alone in a Zoom meeting for an hour when none of you students show up.
Are
And
teachers required to do that?
yeah, like our teachers, they have to stay in the Zoom meeting for an hour even if no one shows up.
Yikes. Imagine how lonely it must be.
As someone who doesn't go into, I went into office hours when the first class of last semester, and we introduced ourselves, and I didn't come back.
I only went into office hours once, like with Tim Beckstrom's class, and because I don't know him as well, we just sat in silence, and he asked me what my favorite candy was, and then I left. But yeah, pretty sad.
Yeah. My speaking of Beckstrom, this is getting off topic, but it's fine. um Speaking of Beckstrom, my cousin was in Beckstrom's class and he has the Golden Cow Award, right?
Hmm.
Um he was failing the class until he went to every single office hours and studied, and then he got an A, which is why Mr. Beckstrom gave him the Golden Cow Award. I did not
Oh,
I could not have that determination.
well, he set himself a goal. Why not? Well, like,
Yeah,
yeah, I agree. I can't ever find the time to do that. Okay, maybe I have a lot of time on my hands, but like, still, I
agreed.
don't want to sit in like an awkward room just going,
I don't know.
hey, what's the question of this?
I might go to that one teacher's um what is it? What was it? Her office hours because she said I'm gonna bribe you, and she tilted her camera so that you could see her dog just sleeping in the background. So wholesome. She also was like, yeah, and our
She seems nice.
yeah, she does. I feel bad for her. She literally okay. This turned into us talking about teachers, but it's fine. It's a conversation. Conversations don't stay on track. Um, her
Exactly.
her so she started the class off by sharing her screen as all teachers do. She was playing lo-fi, and she had us do a poll, and it was, what sheep do you feel most like? And it was 9 different pictures of sheep, and we had to pick one. So that was wholesome. And then she joined and was like, "Hey guys, I've been having a rough week. My Wi-Fi died, my phone died, and I had to get another one. People have been mowing their lawns while I try and teach class. It's been a rough week, y'all."
At least she's being honest, you
Yeah.
know.
It happened to my bio professor too. He was totally like, he he left in the middle of one of the, I think his Zoom crashed or something, but he left in the middle of one of our lectures, and someone else, one of the students, became the host of the Zoom meeting. He's like,
I love when that happens. I
yeah.
literally love when that happens. It's so funny. And everybody goes silent, and then one person goes like, "Did he leave?"
He left like in the middle of talking to. When he came back, he didn't realize he didn't start sharing his screen again, so he was just talking and like we couldn't see anything. Um,
Mr. Kelly did that once. Oh my bad. Wait.
no, go ahead. I was thinking.
Mr. Kelly did that once in the middle of wind ensemble. Or no, was it Mr. Beck's? I don't know. But yeah, I think it's Mr. Beckstrom's class. He left once and he didn't come back for 5 minutes. So half of us went on Among Us and started playing. And it took him like 10-ish minutes to get back on. It was pretty fun. Nobody spoke of it.
Can you imagine
He
if that
doesn't need
happened
to.
in like real life? Like if you're sitting down in a classroom and the teacher just like
Your teacher just
disappears?
suddenly disappears.
Yeah. um what was our topic? Yeah, let me segue back to our topic. when your life gets out of hand and your teacher suddenly disappears, or while you're teaching class and your neighbors are mowing the lawn really loudly and your phone died and your Wi-Fi died, podcasts
Yes.
are a really good grounding technique for your week.
Yes, just speak into a
Just
camera
speak into a
while
camera.
people.
Yeah, while people listen. There was another
Yeah.
point I wanted to make about like why you should make a podcast. And okay, so I have been, as gamers do, listening to stuff. Okay, actually no, I can't say that. Some gamers don't like to listen to anything. They like to immerse themselves in the situation. But I typically only play like multiplayer games, but I've been trying to I have bought so many single player games. If you look at my Steam library, it's just filled with games I've never touched. But I've been trying to play them more, but it gets lonely trying to play them, so I put on a podcast in the background while I'm playing.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you don't have to be a gamer to listen. You can be a baker and also listen if you don't like baking alone and you like to sound like you have a friend. It's the same concept with mukbangs. If you don't like eating alone, you have a
You
friend on
eat
the
with a friend.
internet. Um and also I like making content that I want to see. I miss the Jen and Julian podcast, and it's literally just two people talking. And so it's like, why not, talk? Why
What they
not
did to
talk?
her was dirty, bro.
But
She did not deserve that.
I had a really horrific dream, and I woke up in like a cold sweat, and it was that it was like on like national news that someone robbed Jenna's house, and I was like, bruh, why am I dreaming about that?
Like Kim
And then
Kardashian.
and then I had a follow-up dream the next night where it was, I guess, an alternate reality where the robber, instead of just robbing them, shoots Jenna, and I was like, why is this my dream? This is so bad.
That's freaking scary.
That was
Could never.
a really bad thing to talk about. I'm sorry, I might cut that out. Actually, no, I said unedited, so now this is gonna be on the internet forever.
The whole truth here,
I'm
folks.
sorry, Jenna.
I hope she's actually doing well, though, you know?
Pretty sure
Sometimes the
she
internet
is.
can really be toxic. Yeah.
In the
Has she,
last
like, made any updates?
in the last podcast they did, she said she was getting help. And Julian, all the time, he made one update on stream where he was like, can we normalize saying Jenna? Because I know you guys don't get to see her, but I still see her and I talk to her every single day. So I'm assuming, for the most part, their life is just normal. Yeah. But when will Julian get Jenna a dog? I mean, cat.
Never. Didn't their, like, landlord say no more?
They bought their own house.
Really? They move?
They have, they're, a big house. This happened in 2018.
Yeah, I thought they were in that big house, and they're like, yeah, my landlord said no more cats. Or which video was that?
What? Okay, before they moved in 2018, they were renting a house. And that was a place where the landlord was like, you can't get a cat or something, but they have 3 dogs. So I'm guessing it was just you can't get another dog/cat. And then they bought their own house, and they got Bunny.
How come whenever I think rent, I only think apartment?
I'm living in technically it's like I own the house. But do we own the house? We still pay Mom? I know my mom still has to give a paycheck to the office for some reason.
Isn't that just for land?
Yeah.
You're renting land, but you own the house.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's what we're doing. Yeah.
Because we live on House on Wheels.
Yes.
House on a wheel.
House.
How do we
Castle in the sky.
How do we segue from House on Wheels?
I don't know. I told you pee pee poo poo to
Pee
House
pee
on
poo poo.
Wheels.
Yeah. It's so difficult to take a sip of boba without like 5 chunks just like bursting into your
Did you
mouth.
say 5 fungus? What'd you
No.
say?
Chunks.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for that. Dude, okay. Like, look at this. Look at
That's the
this
moon.
beautiful thing.
That's the moon.
Did you say, yeah,
That's
I
the
thought you
moon.
said blue. It's purple. I thought you said blue for a
Yeah.
second.
That do be the moon though. Um
Indeed.
I guess okay. I guess that was a shitty topic to start off because there's only so much you can go with it. Quick segue. Do you still have the
Should we
Google
segue
Doc?
into another topic?
We had a
Do I still
list
what?
of topics that I just oh I found it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We could this will be a double topic day. um
Got you. Unplanned, but you know what?
let's
That's
do
okay.
something let's do something fun. I don't really want to do like sad stuff today.
Depressing. Um,
Today's a hopeful day.
let's talk about our plans.
New
Like
Year's
it doesn't
plans.
have to be short term, long term, whatever.
Mm,
Just has to be whatever.
that's a good plan. Because podcast is that falls under like why do you want to start a podcast? Well, here's our plans that aren't just podcast. Okay.
Hmm. Do you ever want to like? Okay, I'm gonna write this down because you know what, having a list is good. And if these are long term plans, and if we end up doing some together, that'll be fun, and we can look forward to something in the future.
Yeah.
All right, let me get a pen real quick.
Are these like plans to talk about in the podcast or just in general? We can do both.
We
I'll
can,
make a section on the list.
yeah, like we can talk about plans, and then we can just elaborate if we want.
Yeah.
So whatever. Hold up.
We interrupt this what do people say? We interrupt this moment. I have no idea what people in commercials say. But we're interrupting right now. And we're back! Action!
Were you just talking to yourself? What's happening?
The entire time I was trying to think of one line that people say in the commercials and I couldn't think of it. And then you came back. It's free real estate. I was trying to think of like what people say when when like a commercial plays, like we interrupt this thing to give you a I don't know.
Oh, my favorite commercial is the Santa Clara thunderstorm warning. I don't know. That's my favorite thing. I love it when it goes beep, beep,
That
and then your
scares
TV
me.
turns on.
That
I love
scares
it.
me. It's so scary.
Remember the thunderstorm, like right when the sky was orange?
Oh yeah, that was freaky because there was no rain
I
also. And I
heard
was
that
like
in the middle of
I had
the
my
night.
phone right next to me and it was plugged in and I looked up like it was like 3 a.m. I looked up, I was like what to do in a thunderstorm and it was like unplug all your electronics, keep all the windows closed and I was like my window was open, my phone was plugged in, and I was like ah.
Dude, I was outside. I was literally on my porch and I was like, yo.
Were you already moved by then?
No, it was in the apartment.
Oh.
Like, and I called Chris because Chris was the only one who was up, and Chris was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go on the roof," and I'm like, "I don't think that's a good idea, buddy, but okay." How did this go from plans to thunderstorms?
Plans, thunderstorms. Okay, plans. I don't know what my plans are.
We said we'd travel together one day, remember?
Mm. Yeah, drawing together would be fun. Not a good podcast idea because no one will see what the heck we're doing, but
Later, guys, we'll vlog it for you.
oh, this will be for the Patreon exclusive. I'm kidding.
Yeah, you have to give us $50, and then we'll
I'm not
vlog the
wearing
whole
socks right
thing.
now. Wink. I'm kidding. I have a blanket around my feet.
My fingers are bare.
My fingers. My skin. I'm showing skin.
Oh my god, how dare you!
My plan is to. Oh, one plan I wanted was if I had enough money by my birthday, maybe. Which I feel like I might, because it's. My mom gives me like a little bit every day for just like random stuff. And especially at the beginning of the semester, I get money because I have to buy textbooks. Haha, American college system where you have to buy your own stuff. So I'm having to buy my books and rent for online programs and stuff. So that's fun. And anyway, if I earn enough money by my birthday, I was like, I'll buy one of those VR headsets, the standalone VR headsets, because my laptop probably is too shitty to be able to handle VR. So I'll get the standalone headset. That'll be fun.
How do you decide what to buy? Is it literally like, I don't know. Every time I want to splurge, I'm just like, man, that's gonna waste like 2/18 of my budget.
Right?
And it's just like, yeah, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna buy it. And then you never end up buying
Yeah.
anything.
Another thing I want to buy is PC parts, because I do have a part list, like a budget part list for like $900.
Mm.
And I made it last year, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I have enough money from um refunds from my university because when we had to come back, they're like, oh, we'll refund you because you're going home for quarantine.
Yeah.
So I was like, I could do that, but then I ended up not. I got my grant money recently, so that was
Nice,
cool.
nice.
Like a fat check just came in the mail.
Feels weird.
Hmm?
Just everybody outside. So I think this is insurance.
Insurance.
Yeah, I think so.
Uh-oh. Do you need to leave?
Me?
Do you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I
Because
don't.
I heard someone call your name outside. And I was like,
Yeah, me
are they
too. I
calling
was
you?
like, yeah, exactly.
Okay. Your goals, sorry.
Oh, my bad.
I was talking for a while.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No worries. Honestly, I just had so many goals jumbled in my head to the point where I'm just like, wow, now I forgot all of them. Great job.
Yeah.
I know my long-term goal is to definitely try and travel. Because
Yeah.
right? The only places I went to was like the Philippines and the US, Canada, and like I went to South Korea, but that was only for like waiting for the airplane. Like we stayed in the hotel for one day, and then we were like, all right, we're going to the Philippines. And, yeah,
I've never been
but
anywhere. I've been to
really,
Canada. That's it.
I feel like everyone goes to Canada.
I don't know what it was about Canada, but every time I was in a car, I got really motion sick or car sick. And I don't know why. But every time we were driving in Canada, I felt super car sick.
Yikes!
Maybe it was just the way my uncle drove. Maybe he was just a bad
Probably.
driver.
Good
Was
luck in
it
the
just?
Philippines, there, my
I don't
dude.
know. Oh my god. Okay, Southeast Asian drivers. That is all. That is all.
I talked to my mom about it.
Not like people who are Southeast Asian that drive, but the countries themselves. The driving etiquettes of those countries.
Thank you. Yes.
I'm not trying to spark anything racial here. I'm just saying the driving etiquettes of those countries is crazy. You'll get like I've
Yeah.
heard like in the Philippines, they'll just be like hundreds of cars like jammed right next to each other in one road. So
When you're driving in Manila, yeah, when you go to like Pangasinan, it's not. I don't know if it's bad, but it's like scary. Like I talked to my mom about it, and she's like, "It's not that bad." I'm like, "But everything's scary, and I don't know how to drive stick shift, so it's gonna be difficult to like move my car around." But yeah, stuff like that. Anyways, goals.
goals, traveling. That's a good goal.
Traveling, yeah. Um, I definitely know I want to go to Lake Tahoe with you, like at least.
That would be fun.
Yeah, where should we go though? I don't know about
We
you,
could
but
stay in a
usually when
cabin.
yeah, but usually when we go to Lake Tahoe, it's just like you're going for snow in a
Yeah.
lake, and that's it.
When I
And you're
went
just gonna stay in a cabin.
we stayed in a cabin. We did it was the New Year. So we did like Christmassy New Year stuff. We played in the snow. Our cabin had a hot tub outside. So we
Ooh,
were hot
ooh.
tubbing in the snow. That was cool. And then we went to go sledding and we went downtown. And we went ice skating. That was pretty much it.
When I went, all we did was play in snow, take pictures, eat food, and just go ice skating. That's it. Sometimes I feel like, you know what, there's more you can do, but I feel like half of us are just too tired to do it. But like the whole point of taking a vacation is trying something new. So like why
Yeah.
not? And I hate like traveling and people are just like, yeah, no, we're just gonna stay home, we're tired. Like I'm tired too, man, but like
But we
you wanna
gotta
go
go out. We gotta
smoking?
explore.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That was me when I was younger, though. Like, I didn't want to do anything. But now, but also part of that was because I was forced to be around family members who I barely knew.
You tell him.
But
Oh my gosh.
it's like when I go traveling on my own accord, I'll be around people that I enjoy.
Right? When you're around people you enjoy and you do things that you want to do, that's like the best experience. Like when we went camping, right? We were just walking. That's it.
Yeah, but that was still kind
We
of
were
fun.
literally walking. Yeah, it was fun, and we were literally just talking at a table.
Yeah,
But
that was
talking
but
about
like
Tim Hortons,
when you're doing things that you would otherwise do, just other people are there, that's fun.
right? Like, I would have never heard Miguel say, "And if I get cold, I'll just cry myself to sleep." I would have never heard him say
What
that if
are
he didn't go.
what are who had the list of things he said during the camping trip? Do you have it? I know
He got it.
I know the crying one. He said something about
The
glizzy.
glizzy.
There was so many glizzy jokes.
But don't worry, when like Eggman in my presence, I'm blessed.
Mm.
Feisty little thing, B. Jesus. She's so cute. Look at her.
I don't actually know if that baby's name was Tom Morgan or not. Oh my god.
Miguel and I were talking, and he was like, "Yeah, I think Tom Morgan was a pig or a baby. I don't
Um,
know."
should I explain backstory for if anyone actually listens to this?
Yes, indeed.
Over the summer, we did a socially distant camping trip. And one of the sites over had like a couple and their baby, like a I actually don't I'm pretty sure there was a baby in one of the campsites, but we heard this woman go, "It's time for bed, Tom Morgan," or something. And I feel really rude. If your name is Tom Morgan, I'm so sorry,
I'm so sorry.
but the thought of a baby being called Tom Morgan was so funny to us. I don't
It
even know.
felt so weird.
I feel like we misheard and like the baby's name wasn't actually Tom Morgan, but our brains just immediately went to Tom Morgan. And once one person went, that baby's name is Tom Morgan, everyone went, that baby's name is Tom Morgan. um, so for the and then later on in the night, I could have sworn we heard the same woman say, "Come here, Morgie." So Tom Morgan and Morgie became inside jokes. Like, not the person themselves. Tom Morgan, I'm sure you're a very cute baby. But the name, Tom Morgan and Morgie, became an inside joke. Just the name. Yeah.
I said, Miguel told me later on that day, he was like, yeah, man, I think they heard us last night because they started talking about how rude we were.
I was very rumbly.
Yes.
So one of my one of my plans for 2021 is to not be rude to babies.
Your plan for 2021 is to not make jokes about anybody named Tom Morgan.
To spread love to everyone, including babies.
To every Tom Morgan.
To everybody named Tom. I don't know anyone named Tom. Actually, no. I know people named Tommy. Wait! I do know someone named Tom. Okay, no, I don't actually know someone named Tom. They're just the brother of one of my friends. But I don't actually know him. So I don't actually know him.
Just 5 minutes of you contemplating whether or not you know somebody named Tom.
Yeah.
Good job.
He did Venmo me.
Ooh.
Tom Morgan, no. Not Tom Morgan. Tom did.
Tom, yeah.
My friend had owed me money, but he didn't have his own credit card. So he got his brother to Venmo me. So Tom, you're there somewhere.
You're a G. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Tommy boy. Anyways, we're gonna talk about what are you trying to do that's like not as big as traveling.
Oh. I don't know. Like, not as big. Define not as big.
Like, let's say you want to read at least like once a week, or you want to draw once a week, or you want to like clean out your entire room at least.
I definitely want to clean, but I don't know. I guess for me to start would be I don't know how big of a goal this is. For some people, it's a big goal. I actually do kind of want to look into getting a therapist, because when I did therapy, it was fucking awful. But I feel like I can't actually start anything because my mind just has so much baggage. Even if you're not neurodivergent, you know, if you just have mental baggage and you want to get it out of the way, I'm sure a therapist could help. As Shea Coulee said, it is also for black people with money.
Tell him, Queen.
But I feel like that'll help me actually get my goals set into place and be able to do what I need to do. Because right now, especially quarantine, everything's a mess.
Exactly, and I don't think people really talk about this. Like, usually when you talk about like mental issues, you're just like, I'm sad all the time, or I do this all the time, but you never really talk about the goals that set in because of mental issues. Like, you'll set a goal on a day, whatever day, and then next thing you know, you just give up on it because you don't have the capacity to do it.
Do you ever?
Nobody really talks about that.
Yeah. Do you ever set a goal and like the day you set it, you're like, I can't wait to do it. Like, it's gonna be so great when I do it, and then the next day comes and you're like, whatever, I'm not gonna do it.
literally me, literally. My like one of my New Year's resolutions was to read more because I know that I haven't been keeping up much on reading, and I'm very picky when it comes to books. If I don't like it immediately, I'll put it away.
Yeah,
But like, I feel like that pickiness has caused me to stop reading at some point in my life. Like I used to love it, but
me
now it's just like,
too.
nah.
I think it's the education system.
Right?
Being
And then you
graded to
get books
read.
at the library.
Being
Yeah.
graded to
Then you
read
get
makes
books
me
at the
so
library
sad.
and you're just like you want to read them. And you read them and you're like, this is boring. You stop reading it. This is I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to read, mate.
I'm excited for my English class this semester because I was looking up reviews online and they're like, it's a fun class. It's basically like a book club, but you don't know what books you're gonna read. And I was looking through the class files because not only are we reading books, we're also watching movies. I looked through the class files. One of the movies we're watching is Big Hero 6. Like the whole 1 hour and 40 minutes is just in the Google Drive, and I now have Big Hero 6 for free if I
I
download it.
love that movie.
I think I
So
got it
good.
for one of my birthdays. Actually, I also have a little over here, a little Baymax figurine. He stands on his own. He's a little wobbly
I
though.
like the chonky ones. I like the chonky ones with the small heads. They're like
Yeah,
this
this one
big.
is the
They're Disney.
opposite. But he's made out of like a
Big
very
head.
quality leather. Probably fake
Speaking about the education system,
education
I feel
system.
like education system. I feel like I'm not gonna lie. I never enjoyed any of the books for the
Mm,
my last 3 years in high school. Like the only book I ever liked to read was that one about
the
Vietnam
Stranger?
War veterans.
Oh. I
Yeah,
feel like All Quiet on on the Western Front was a good book.
it was good. Yeah, I just never really like dived into it. Like a lot of people liked it in my class, and I would understand why. Like it's pretty eye opening, but once I read it, I was just like, I knew all this already. But like,
It was a little depressing.
yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I like depressing books only if it looks into the minds of other people, which is why I really like my class this year for like English.
Who are
I
you
love story and
taking?
style.
Oh, Story and Sale.
Like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I like the books in there. Like that's the first time I ever liked all the books that the teacher gave out. Usually you dread to read them. You're just like, wow, I'm forced to do this. I'll just look on Spark Notes. But now you're just like, oh, this is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. What is one of
Yeah.
the my writing class last year? I only had to take one writing class. Um,
Because of
because I
like
took the
AP Lit,
AP Lit test, yeah. But I'm taking this English class. What is it called? Global Fictions, I think. So we're reading fictitious books from all over the globe. Um,
delicious definitions.
I thought we were
Definitions.
gonna watch Parasite, but I don't. We're watching a 2020 movie, so I don't
What is
know.
it?
I have no idea. I forgot, but we we have to sign up for something to be able to watch it at the same time as our professor. So I don't know how that's gonna work, but that seems cool. Um, I think our professor wrote a he wrote like a book, not about Parasite, but about like Korean cinema. I think because he's Korean. So that was cool. I was looking at
Hmm.
his Twitter and I was like, wow, all of my teachers are so diverse. Diversity is such a good thing. I just want to say one thing. Tangent time. That has nothing to do with plans whatsoever. Diversity is such a
No,
good
it's
thing
okay.
because not to get back into my love of NASA and space, but I was looking at the comments of the recent Crew 1 launch. They were doing like a tour of their space capsule while they were up there. They're still up there, I don't know. um, but the crew is basically Commander Mike. I wonder if I'm so nerdy that I can name all 4 of them by name. Commander Mike Hopkins is a white dude. Pilot Victor Glover is a black guy. And the 2 mission specialists, Soichi Noguchi is Japanese, and Shannon Walker is a woman. And someone in the comments said, "Wow, I can't believe they focused on diversity more than excellence." And first of all,
what does race have to do with excellence? My God.
what does diversity have to do with excellence? Who's to say you can't be both diverse and excellent? It's not like NASA was like, which pilot should we choose for the Crew 1 mission? I know, let's only pick black guys. No, they picked Victor Glover, and he just so happened to be black. And second of all, if you don't think diversity is a good thing, then good luck on repeating history, because if you Cam made this really good analogy. If you put a bunch of engineers in a room and told them and gave them a problem, if one engineer can't fix it, the chances are the rest of the engineers can't fix it. But if you put an engineer, a doctor, and a chemist, and like other people in that room, they're probably going to be able to figure out something, because now you've got all these different perspectives. When you have a room full of people that is diverse, they're going to be able to figure out problems and give different perspectives, because, you know, if you're black, you probably don't have the perspective of an astronaut, or like, I'm speaking for the crew here, but if you're someone like Victor Glover or the rest of the crew, you probably don't have the same perspective as Suichi Noguchi, who grew up in Japan. He's gonna have a fresh new perspective that he can bring to the crew and the mission, and, you know, it's just a great time for everyone. You know, think about it. Or don't, because
Exactly.
you don't have the diverse enough mind to be able to think about other perspectives. Okay, I will stop there.
I'm gonna probably go off on a tangent too. Not only morally and ethically does diversity count, but environmentally, scientifically, it definitely counts. The less diversity there is, boys, like, just be a boring pile of land with nothing to do, with nowhere to go. It'll be sad. A sad heap of dirt.
If you
I
think
don't know where I went.
if you think ethno-states are good, you, my friend, are a fascist. I'm sorry. If
I'm
you think ethno-states are good, you think in the same mind as Hitler. I don't make the rules. That's just what it is.
I can hear it working.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that might be too loud.
No, I like it like that. Don't worry. Grrr.
Yeah.
And this is where you can tell that I haven't been hanging out with anyone other than Max. But you know what? Everything's gonna be okay.
Every little thing is gonna be alright.
I'm not gonna lie, ever since quarantine started, like, I have been distancing myself, like, isolating myself, and it's really bad. Especially, like, these past 2 weeks, man. Dang, I have not talked to any of my friends other than, like, you, Raiden, and Max.
Do you want to use this mic for the next podcast? I
Sure.
have it, and I haven't been using it because I have this. I don't know. Just to give it, because I'm not using it, so you might as well use it.
I think the hardest part about making a dress is the ratios. Because I can't do math.
For me, it's just convincing myself to finish it. As you can see with the masks. Which I can segue back into our topic. Plans.
Want to finish your math?
keeping your plan. We went off on because there's gonna be a random cut in this, so if there's gonna be a random cut all the way up until I said the masks. So,
Mm-hmm.
we went on a tangent and started talking about sewing, and I tied it back because I have some unfinished masks that I haven't finished sewing. And we're gonna tie it back to plans because plans can help you stay on track and finish your projects. Because I have not finished my sewing projects yet, which is really good. I bought this. I thrifted this. Admittedly, I am too scared to go to the fabric store. It's not like I've never been there, but I went to. I like to get my fabric thrifted, so I go to like thrift stores, and sometimes they'll have like leftover fabric that someone just gave away because they haven't used, or there'll be curtains and blankets there. I bought this really nice
Right,
gold
reminder.
blanket. This not blanket, this gold curtain, which I feel like could be a really like regal dress. I don't know. I don't know. I
Exactly.
also bought this tablecloth, and
Or
I made a skirt, but it didn't end up working because the cloth wasn't like tight enough. I don't know, like the tensions were way too loose, so when I sewed it, it just like this is the thread, this is the cloth, it just slipped off.
I love thrift store finds, man. Remember when we went to Savers and we found like that $10 chair?
Why didn't you
Ah,
get a chair from
I
there?
love that
I
$10
need a
chair.
new chair. My plan for 2021 is to get a new chair because this is like a cheap IKEA chair. The wheels off the bottom pop off. So now it's just like, so this is like the thing that holds the
Chair.
wheels in place. The wheels popped off, and now it's just this metal bar that's scraping against my wooden floor every time I scoot back and forth in this chair. And I was cleaning my floor yesterday, and I could see like black marks in the bottom of in my floor. Yeah, so that's
Skid
that.
marks.
Yeah, I now have skid marks on my floor. Plan for
Sorry, I'm just
2021, get
like
a chair. I can take you to Savers and we can get a chair for you in that nice new
yes,
room.
please. I've been
Let's get
trying
a
to
chair.
find a chair.
Let's get a chair and spray paint it to fit your room's theme.
Where would we spray paint it? I want to spray paint it
Pink,
outside.
neon purple. Oh, where? That's a good question. Outside is the general answer.
Indeed. I must agree that outside is a good answer.
Agree.
Wow, we should do it inside a bathtub.
Could do a podcast inside a bathtub. Goal for 2020. I'm kidding.
Bean? With bean. Bean tub.
You want to pick the next podcast topic here?
Um,
Nah, we don't have to. We don't have to plan that
yeah.
far ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can just go off on a tangent.
Yeah. And with that being said,
Yeah.
I think now would be a good time to end today's off-topic start of something new podcast.
Is this the start
Like if I
of
upload
something new?
this, I'll call it like why you should start a podcast slash plans. That's a terrible name.
Friends.
Podcast slash plans. PP. I'll just call it
Indeed.
PP. Just the letters
PP
P.
podcast.
PP poo poo. Are we stealing that from Sarah Shower and Brittany Broski? What's like
I don't know.
what's a less educated version of PP poo poo?
Haha poop. No.
Ha.
Haha.
The oh no monkey. The oops.
Okay.
Stinky podcast. Monkey podcast. Monkey.
Um,
The thing is,
um,
that thing in the thumbnail I think is an orangutan, which isn't a monkey, that's an ape. Monkeys have tails. Apes, like us, we don't have tails.
I'm sorry, but orangutans are ugly as fuck. I'm sorry, they have they just look gross to me.
Gorillas
They look
also.
like.
Gorillas don't have tails. They're not monkeys, they're apes.
Who do you think is more attractive, an orangutan or a gorilla?
I'd say
I,
okay, well, gorilla, gorilla, and then in another tab, what is it? Orangutan. And I'm
I'm gonna
gonna.
tell you right now. Your answer's gonna be gorilla. I'm
That's what
telling
I
you
was
right now.
gonna say. Because orangutans have, like, ginormous faces, huge cheeks.
I think the only reason why I don't like orangutans is because when I watched The Jungle Book when I was younger, I was scared of the monkey.
Here.
So
I'll
yeah.
end this podcast on on a question. Oh no. Hold on. Let me just give me 1 second. I'll end this podcast on what's more attractive. All right. We've got orangutans on the left, but we've got gorillas on the right. I would definitely say gorilla.
Same.
It's pictures like
I'm
this that
sorry.
scare me. Like that's scary.
It
This is a
is.
little scary. Orangutans, I feel like
Absolutely
are
not.
okay. I know the science.
They look like neck pillows.
I know the science is a little wrong. I think genetically we're closer to orangutans than that. Please, no scientists. Please don't call me out on this. I'll fact check myself right now. Are humans closer to orangutans?
Oranges, grapes. I'm sorry, I can't stop looking at that photo with the man standing with two girls. I don't know
Guys, dude. Dude, what the heck? Oh no,
I remember.
chimpanzees. We're closest to chimpanzees and then gorillas and then orangutans. So I was completely wrong. I'm completely wrong on everything.
What's
But
it called again?
we definitely look closer to gorillas. Like,
Yes,
in terms
for
of
sure.
looks. Gorilla facts.
I like her cut.
I saw a cute video of a
It's pretty
gorilla,
nice.
and it was like the caption was like, it's tradition for this gorilla who's like, he's like the alpha, I guess. And his mate wouldn't let him spend time with the baby because, like, gorillas are, well, gorillas aren't aggressive, but I'm assuming they're very intimidating. But like the mom wouldn't
Tarzan.
let the mom wouldn't let him, not this gorilla in specific, but the mom the wouldn't let the dad gorilla spend time with a baby. So he, like, kidnaps the
It's literally
baby,
Tarzan.
and, like, in the video you can just see, like, the mom chasing the dad away and he's, like, carrying the kid. It was cute.
I'm sorry, but
Gorillas,
you
man.
literally just described Tarzan.
Is that Tarzan?
It's
Oh my god.
the dad is trying to literally he's trying to kill like Tarzan and the mom's like, no.
Okay, but the dad wasn't stealing the kid away to kill him. He just wanted to spend time with his son.
This baby.
That's the plot of the Goofy movie.
What's the whole point of putting Roxanne in that movie if it was about a dad?
Cause
And it's done.
Okay, Max is the protagonist of the Goofy movie, and his goal is to get Roxanne to notice him. Goofy, the dad, is the antagonist because he's coming in the way of that. He's Max's problem the entire movie. And at the end of the movie, they solve it by having a compromise. And they're like, okay, Dad, I'll go on this trip with you if you let me go to the concert and impress Roxanne. It was a wholesome moment.
Goofy had a kid, but then Minnie
Goofy
and
had a
Mickey
kid.
have a kid.
That means Goofy had sex. And cut. I think that's a very good place to end this podcast. If you watched however long it is, thank you. First podcast. Who's gonna watch this? You and me. Probably. That's it. If we grow big one day and people are like, I want to watch the first podcast they ever did. Highly doubt it, but you can be an optimist. One of my plans for 2021 is to be an optimist.
Oh my god.
If anyone is watching this ever, thank you. Very cool, and I'm so sorry.
To anybody named Tom Morgan watching this, I will stop bullying.
Yes.
I will stop. I promise.
Here's to 2021. This is we're very, very not far into 2021, so let's hope the rest of it goes better.